All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show over here on the Strickland YouTube channel as well as the Strickland Podcast Network. Knicks lose to the Celtics 133 to 118. Knicks offense really had no problems getting things going. Had three guys score over 20. Things looked pretty well on the offensive end. It is more so a concern of the defense that continues to be an issue going forward with this team. I thought, after the switch from Evan Fournier to whether it be Quentin Grimes or Cam Reddish, I thought defensively the team would look a little bit better on the perimeter defense, but there still seems to be some matchup issues in terms of point of attack, especially with a bigger guard like Bruns, like a bigger guard like Brogdon and Derek White. They seem to have not Derek White to a lesser extent, but more so Brogdon. He took advantage of that Brunson matchup, and I thought we should have switched things up. Maybe having Brunson on one of the shooters out there. But yeah, it was a really rough night defensively. Celtics hit a franchise record 27 3-pointers. If I'm not wrong, I think this is the second or third team to hit a franchise record of threes against us in a game this year. So
I don't think the Cavs had a record. I think they just had
the Cavs, the Cavs had a record of I think most 3-pointers between three players. It was like D Mitch, Dean Wade, and Kevin Love. They had 22 combined between the three of them,
which was wild.
But yeah, if teams are going to continue to set 3-point records against us, then I don't know what else you're gonna. What else can you expect from this team this year? Because I mean, the offense looked great, but if you're gonna give up franchise records of 3-pointers to teams every single night, and I said this starting at the Charlotte game. I know Charlotte was it seemed like an outlier at the time because it was DSJ and the garbage pail kids or whatever it was, but I said that night, I said this is gonna look even worse versus better teams because those teams are going to be better equipped to hit these type of shots that, Charlotte was getting lucky with. But yeah, Sam Hauser, he was the main contributor of this, and he really benefited off of the dribble penetration of guys like Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Once those guys got in, defense collapsed. Sam Hauser was wide open, and it was like shooting practice for him. And him, Jaylen Brown, all those guys, they benefited from those threes. But yeah, Therese, how'd you feel about tonight?
I liked the process on offense. I thought the offense was really strong. I felt like when your three best players basically combined for near, I think, 80 plus points. So, offensively, they did their jobs. They were all efficient. They all shot above 50%. I have the numbers here now. Okay, so Julius has 29, RJ has 27, Brunson has 22. They all shoot, 10 of 19 from Julius, 9 of 15 from RJ, 10 of 17 from Brunson. So, they all have a good night, and you still lose by 16 or 15, rather, because you can't contain defenses. Sam Hauser had 17 points, and they lost by 15. So that kind of shows you the story of, the three ball was really, really hurting this team, and they had no answer for it. It felt like a personnel issue because, they put in Cam Reddish. Cam can't really defend. Quickly had, an okay game, but, not his best game defensively. I just kind of feel like the defense was an issue, and the bench unit gave us nothing tonight. That bench unit got absolutely torched. Derrick Rose, who we were calling washed last episode, was the best player on the bench tonight. And even still, towards the end of it, he was losing his legs, and he only played 13 minutes. So, the bench unit really needs to find its consistency. That's, Toppin was a team worst minus 22. Toppin was a minus 22. Fournier was a minus 19 in 10 minutes. Quickly was a minus 16 and 13. And then Jericho Sims didn't even play because he didn't do anything when he was on the court. So when you're basically running your starters 37 plus minutes. The only person who like Jalen Brunson played 32. That's because Derrick Rose got a little bit of extended burn, but still, like I don't know. It was just really rough tonight, man. Like the defense was really, really bad, and for the performances that Julius and Brunson had offensively, like, I feel like these were their worst defensive games so far into the season. And like the Celtics personnel makes it a little bit rougher, but like the overhelp on bad shooters is hurting this team a ton. And I'm okay with them letting up threes, but I'm not okay with them letting up threes to good shooters because they're overhelping on someone like Marcus Smart. If Marcus Smart is going to take 10
A
threes in a
layup
game and he gets
or even a layup.
yeah.
If he's just going for a layup, just let him get the layup. It's way better than conceding threes because then once they get hot from threes, as we see with every single one of these teams so far, it becomes an avalanche.
Yeah, like, and I'm okay with like them letting Sam Hauser try to beat us, but like when it's Sam Hauser beating us and then Jalen Brunson and Jason Tatum beating us because they both hit 6 threes apiece tonight, then that's an issue. So it
Man.
kind of just feels like, yeah, like everybody who shot a three went 50% or higher. So that's a problem. Or rather, like 45% or higher. I just, of course, there's more to build off on it, and you're not going to face the Celtics every game, but at the same time, like, it wasn't a good performance defensively. But offensively, I'm encouraged.
Yeah. I'm gonna speak one last, well, not like one last thing about the defense, but I do want to get into the offense to talk to get to at least some positives for tonight. But defensively, it also seemed like they were confused on what coverage they were supposed to play, especially Randall. He was involved in a whole bunch of scenarios tonight where like he was either he didn't know or he was confused about what the coverage was, where they were supposed to switch, where they're supposed to like um help hedge and recover, whatever it was. But like he was involved in a whole lot of actions that led to a whole bunch of wide open threes. Fournier, there was one play I was so glad he like they didn't even go to his man, but he overhelped so severely on a drive. He left Sam Hauser wide open. Luckily, they didn't like find him for that. That's just another example of them overhelping. But it felt like tonight this whole team just didn't know what coverage they were running defensively. I don't know if it
Yeah.
was if it was up to like Thibs, if he did something last minute that he switched. But yeah, it just didn't seem like they were.
I don't think you can't blame Tibbs on this game.
Oh, of course
It's
not. No,
not
I'm not blaming him for that. But
right.
like, I think they're so used
Yeah.
to the previous coverage that they used to run, the the drop, that if they were to go to switch tonight, they just had no idea what to do tonight.
I think that's fair, but it's also like, man, like it just felt like a personnel issue, and it wasn't offensively, which is good because like I think the offense on the team was strong, but like the defensive personnel was just all over the place tonight, and you gave up career nights of shooting, and that just kind of takes your momentum out. I feel like every time they got the lead or got close to having the lead, the Celtics hit a three and then another three, and like you saw it in the first quarter where they started the game like 9-2, I want to say. So
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, it was just kind of they were all over the place defensively, which really sucks to see. But hopefully they lock in a bit more. I feel like Cam was a welcome change to the starting lineup. Um, I think his activity defensively was really, really sound. He didn't shoot well tonight, but he was still a +4, which is the second highest on the team tonight. So like that unit, like I think Hartenstein and Cam Reddish were probably like they didn't score as much as the other guys, but they were the ones making the plays that were contributing to winning more than the other guys did tonight, I feel.
Yeah, with Hartenstein though, he got killed a couple times on the glass. To the Celtics undersized guys, which has always been a concern with Hartenstein throughout the whole year, just getting out rebounded on the defensive glass. But yeah, let's get to some positives, I guess, from tonight because there were quite a few on the defensive end at least. I guess we can start with Jalen Brunson. He had some really solid passes, including one off of a scramble play, where Julius spin into a double team. He lost it. Hartenstein kind of like got it back and then like found Jalen Brunson outside, and he immediately dished it back to Julius in the paint for an and one. There was another pass where he was driving to the paint and he cut, and RJ was cutting. He found RJ for that dunk. That was another beautiful pass right there. He had us like 10 assists tonight, I think it was.
10
Um,
assists, no turnovers.
like just really great stuff. Really great stuff. Has that step back midi just like down packed.
It's pure.
Like
It
that's
is
his
like
go-to
it
move.
literally goes in. It goes in every time, dude. Like I think so far in the early season he's shooting like something ridiculous from the mid range, and he's always shot ridiculous from the mid range. But I feel like in this role you expect that to like take a dip, and it hasn't at all. Like he's just been shooting incredibly in the mid range, and it's like to think about it, like the three balls isn't even there yet. Like
Yeah.
when that three ball gets to the point where it should usually get to, like when he normalizes that out, man, like he's shooting right now. Okay, so in the mid range right now, he's shooting 55. He's shooting 55% of floater range, which is nuts. Like in the short mid range, he's actually not even been that good. So like, there's going to be positive regression. He's only been shooting 33% in like the 10 to 16 range, and he usually shoots 50%.
Mm.
So again, there's room for improvement here, which is wild to think about. Like his 3-point shooting and his mid range shooting is going to get better. And once that gets better, like how much better can he get? It's crazy to think about. Like he's gonna get even better.
Yeah, it feels like some of his drives early this season also haven't been always going in as much as they did in Dallas. I don't know what the numbers are on like I think you said the floater range was what, like 55%?
55, 54%.
What's it at the rim?
At the rim is 70.
Okay. I feel like
Yeah,
he's
he's been
he's I feel like he's missed a couple bunnies too, so for it to be at 70 is crazy. But
he missed a couple of buddies, but it's still elite, which is nuts.
so that's good. I mean, there could be some more positive regression there as well when he makes those bunnies. RJ, I thought RJ had really efficient night shooting. Um when they said his percentages during the game, I was just like, "Oh shit. Like this is a really
Yeah,
great game from RJ." Um I mean, he looked in control. He looked poised. He had some strong drives. I made note to like point those out on Twitter because I was like, none of that Euro BS. Like, stop trying to go around dudes. Like, just go straight through. You can do that. He got a nice and one on what you call it, Derek White. They rewarded him for that. Like, I just want to see him do that. Like, take it straight strong to the cup. None of that Euro. Try to be finesse. Like, do all these. Like, nah. Just take it strong to the cup and more than likely you'll get either hopefully you'll get the foul because that's always the thing with him and the refs and the whistle, but continuing to make those strong drives and be consistent there as well as making the right decisions. There were some turnovers early in the game that really ill advised from him, including that no look pass. But there were a lot of turnovers from the whole team as a whole, which is another issue that this team seems to have early on in the season. But I think that's also just a point of maybe gelling more with the units, especially as Dibs is changing things early in the season. That could be a residual of that. Um, but yeah, how do you feel about those two before we get into the last member of the 20-point club?
yeah. I liked RJ tonight, but the turnover he had 6 turnovers tonight, man.
Yeah,
You can't do that. Like, and they were really bad turnovers too. Like sometimes, like you saw the momentum building, and then like he would either step out of bounds or he would like have a
there
really
was that
errant
no look
pass and take the
pass.
space that lets like fast break points, and it's just like those are the turnovers you can't have if you're trying to be somebody who like commands more usage in his offense because they just stop runs. It's just really really unfortunate. But ultimately, like I do like the playmaking that he had. I felt like his defense had a bit of a step up, even though the team defensively as a whole didn't play well. I felt like he played okay defensively, which is what you want to see him do. He got beat back door a couple times, but it wasn't as prevalent as it was because I feel like Cam's now able to take those better assignments and makes RJ more of a roamer of defense, which is nice. He also shot 6 of 6 from the free throw line, so the free throw has been really solid as well. And since that first game, he's just been a very good 20-point per game scorer and efficient 20-point per game scorer as well. And that's what you want to see. And again, the three ball hasn't gone in yet. So when that three ball does start going in, like the rebounds weren't all there
Today it
tonight at
was
the
much
same time.
better.
But
3 for 5. Today was much better
yeah,
from him.
so like if he can consistently hit that three and he's still finishing at the rim really well because he shot 6 of 10 at the rim, like or 6 of 10 from 2 point range. Another strong night from 2 point range as well, especially in the lane. Got to the line 6 times, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. So like you're seeing what he can be. Like you can see him sleepwalk to 20 points a game. Like you're starting to see that now where like he's getting 20 and you're just like, oh, that's normal,
Regular all
you
night
know?
for RJ. Yep.
Yeah, like you look at his last few games: Atlanta 19, Philly 22, Boston 27, Milwaukee game 20, and it's just like, oh, okay, like you can get to 20 fairly easily, and you don't need like an absorbent amount of shots to do it anyway. Even the Cleveland game, he was still hyper efficient as well. So like you're seeing him start to take those strides into being a better offensive player, and it's not because he's doing tween hezzy step backs. It's just him being able to run the floor well. It's him being able to pick his spots well. And it's him being able to finish well and get to the line and convert at the line as well. So if he manages to do that, then like he fits that Wigan kind of archetype where he's just going to be hyper efficient and get what he needs to get done.
All right. Last member of the 20-point club, number 30, 29
I,
points. What happened?
I know you're vexed right now.
Huh?
You saved them for last. That's some hating. That's hate. That's nasty hating. Go ahead. Lift it up.
So 29 points. Hit the threes today. So that's encouraging if he can continue to do that, but you never know. But yeah, he hit his threes tonight. His free throws, all his free throws, so that's also encouraging, even though he's 69% on the season. But yeah, he made his presence known, I think, inside, which is what you want to see. There was one play that really stood out to me. I think it was Hartenstein after a cut. He found Randall cut into the basket, and that's the type of stuff I want to see Randall do more. Not all the dribbles at the top of the key, like that one possession in Philly that made its rounds today on the timeline. But yeah, it's just like pick and rolls, get into the basket, easy stuff. I feel like tonight he had more points in the paint. I don't
He
know, maybe
did.
you can fact check that for me, Tyrese.
I'm waiting for those the game data to upload. But once it is in, I'll let you know. But yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely feel like he got a couple shots in the paint tonight. I feel like he made at least five.
yeah. There was the and one. There was that shot after the cut from Hartenstein. I'm not really remembering all the other ones, but yeah, the one thing that I really want him to get out of the bad habit of is that double clutch jumper when he thinks he's gonna get the foul. It's like the refs are not gonna give you that all the time. They're not gonna bail you out every single time. That's a bad shot. It's basically a turnover. That shot is basically a turnover when he takes it, and I just need him to really get out of that shot because it's so annoying and it's basically a turnover every single time. But yeah, how'd you feel about number 30's performance tonight?
I felt like offensively he was very very strong. Um, like he did what you wanted him to do offensively. The five offensive rebounds are the most important stat I want to talk about because we talk about him not getting consistent rebounds. We talk about him, not really fighting for it. And tonight he fought for it. He led the entire game with five offensive rebounds. Granted, it was against a smaller lineup in Celtics who didn't have a traditional center to speak of. They had Blake Griffin and Grant Williams as their center rotation with a little bit of Noah Vonleh. But ultimately, like he got the offensive rebounds. He was down there getting dirty. He was getting putbacks and stuff like that. The jumper is having positive regression now. He's getting to the line. He's making his free throws. He went 4 or 5 yesterday. He went 6 or 6 today. He's not a 71% shooter like he is right now from the free throw line. So I think he'll be better. He's hitting his twos as well, which is really positive. Like it really just feels like his bar as a player has gotten improved with Jalen Brunson being on the team because Brunson is just able to give him a lot of opportunities that he normally would not have if he was by himself or even last year. So I think once the three ball starts to come around more often, I don't expect him to stay at 21% forever. Same thing with RJ. I don't expect him to stay at like wherever he is right now. He might be at 21, 22. But yeah, man, like I like the offensive process so far from Julius. I feel like he kind of had a mix of that, like his first three games where he was really good offensively and like what he really needs to do for this team as a creator. I liked that he was able to mix it up pretty well. And now I think it's a matter of just like finding that consistency and making sure that he's not the ball's not sticky with him. And if it is sticky with him, his shots are in the flow of offense and not just him trying to like ISO 15 times a game. I'm okay with him getting like one or two or three a game. But like when it gets to the point where like it's a repeated ISO and Julius is the offense, that really like starts to bog down. But tonight offensively, like he did his job. I can't complain about what he did offensively. Defensively, I want him to be more, and I want him to because like he had some possessions where like he was on the switch and he would just shut down the possession, which is really nice to see. I want to see him do more of that, and I think he can. But yeah, offensively speaking, he played well tonight. All three of them, the mid three, he played well tonight, so you can't really complain about that. Offensively, at least. Defensively, you can complain about it as much as you want to, and I would not blame you.
All right. Before we get into some comments, everyone's favorite part of these live streams. Um, NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back. So tip off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a stepped up same game parlay today. My God. Ugh. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is where I go to bet on the NBA. Last night, I gave you guys all RJ Barrett's points over, Julius Randle's rebounds over, and Jalen Brunson's assist over. They all cashed. Wow, would you look at that? It's always when I don't take them, which is hilarious. Um, Looking forward to tomorrow's games. I'm giving y'all some gems, apparently, allegedly. What are the matchups tomorrow? Ooh, Clippers versus Jazz tomorrow. Jazz are starting off the season extremely hot. I would take Lowry Markkanen's points
Take
over
take
his
every take points, assists, rebounds over. Take them all over.
take
Nobody
his threes
buys the
over.
Clippers.
Uh,
No, not the threes. Not
Lowry's
the threes.
threes?
Lowry can't hit threes right now.
He can't? Oh wow, that's surprising. All right, so
He's
take
a,
Kelly
he's
Olynyk's
been
threes.
yeah.
Take Kelly
He
Olynyk's
should like
threes.
yeah. Kelly Olynyk shooting like 56% from three right now. Do it.
Yeah, so take his threes, take Lowry's overs in points and rebounds, especially. Clippers they're kind of small. No Kawhi is gonna be playing, no Kennard, probably. And no Covington probably. So, those are three very important players for the Clippers. Maybe you might even take Jazz money line. So, just some things to consider. I don't know what's the situation with their guard situation. It's either, Clarkson's night, it's either Mike Conley's night, it's either Colin Sexton's night. It's either Malik Beasley's night. So I would stay away from the guards maybe, but Kelly Olynyk over threes and Lowry Markkanen over points and rebounds. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TBPN and make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code TBPN, as you see in the corner of your screen. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes or show description for details. All right, let's get to some comments. So Brian Benjamin, he is always here early. Shout out Brian Benjamin. I think he has to work, so he comes, watches the first half or quarter and gives his thoughts then. But he says my biggest worry is Obi thinking he's Reggie Miller and starts ignoring his other skills in focus of shooting threes. How many threes did he take tonight? Because
I can check for you real quick. He took 5 threes.
So all his shots were threes tonight. Yeah, he is really feeling himself after that victory last night. Um, I'm not mad at it. I mean, I think it helps when he takes the threes just to keep the defense honest. Just because he's been so good early on, I'm not really that mad at it. And given the situation of the matchup tonight, it kind of warrants that, especially like we're in a shootout with these guys, and you know, threes are better than twos. But yeah, I would like to see him get back to I would like to see them involve him in more screen and rolls again because I don't think he really had any screen and roll actions today. Because usually Quick or Rose try to find him in those actions. So it was very interesting to see the type of actions they involved him in. But how'd you feel about Obi tonight?
Not, not that bad. It was rough. It was bad. He had the worst team minus. He had the worst performance on the team tonight. Like I definitely think he got into the whole like I'm a shooter, and he was like feeling himself a little bit too much. I would want to say, and it sucked. But at the same time, like I want him to take those shots, so I'm not gonna get too mad at it. My focus is more quickly.
Mm,
Um, I know this is early season quickly, so we're gonna have the conversation for like another month. But at the same time, it's like I need quickly to put the ball in the basket, man. Like I love his defense, I love his playmaking, I love the energy that he brings. But we talked about this last game, and it's like, hey, at some point you got to put the ball in the basket, bro. Like Obi Toppin has been doing it early in the season. RJ's starting to do it now. Like you gotta hold up, especially since you're the point guard of this team, and there's a very real chance you're the sixth man of this team for the future. So like, if you can't put the ball in the basket, it hurts the team a lot. So I want to see him do that. Hopefully he does. I know he can, so I'm not too worried about it long term. But for now, in these games where you want to win these games, you need him to really step up in those moments.
yeah, I'm not. Ooh, wow. What a ooh, ouch. But I was watching the Suns game just now. But yeah, I would like to see. Yeah, I would like to see quickly put the ball in the basket. It is nice seeing all the other intangibles, but the main objective of the game is to score. And I don't want those losers on Twitter winning. So, Emmanuel, quickly, please, my son, do something. Um, yes. All right, let's get to the next comment. RR says Stibbs needs to go, puts too much emphasis on paint defense, and that leaves 3 point shots open. Our personnel should not be this bad at guarding the three. I think tonight I think our personnel. One thing that I noted on Twitter is that Jalen Brunson was getting cooked by Brogdon. I
Yeah,
mean, and Brogdon's a really big guard. He's like 6'5", almost 6'6". Um,
yeah.
Jalen Brunson's 6'2" on a good day. He was getting
He's five.
cooked.
He's 5'11", man.
Yeah,
Only
that's
short.
why I said 6'2" on a good day. Today was not a good day. But
With
yeah,
his hair out, maybe.
he was getting cooked. I felt like he shouldn't have been on Brogdon. He should have probably been on like Sam Hauser when Sam Hauser was out there or something. Just so like Sam Hauser, prove to me you're gonna put the ball in the basket. I dare you. I dare you to do it. Because he was just hitting knockdown threes wide open. So like Jalen Brunson, I love you for what you've done offensively, but tonight was just one of those nights where Brogdon was just had you on the summer jam screen and it was not pretty. Um
Yeah. If Brogdon was mixing them up and they were hitting Don DeMarco in the back, it was nasty. It was just banger after banger after banger. Brogdon was like Brunson was out here doing the spin cycle. He was doing the lean back. Like it was filthy. And yeah, like that was his worst game defensively as a Knick by far. Because he's been good at post defense. He's been able to make his rotations for the most part, even though he will miss a couple times. But like he's been like a mediocre defender, which is all you want him to be. That game, he was bad. Like very, very bad. So hopefully there's improvement there, but you can't do that,
yeah.
especially with this personnel. where like they're still trying to figure it out defensively, which I think they will. But yeah. Also, I just gotta say, like, we are 9 games in. I need people to stop making resounding. We all do this, but like, we kind of need to just stop making referendums about the season early.
Now, there's some
Um,
things that you can point out, like trends and stuff like
yeah,
that.
okay, if you say like 40 is garbage should be gone. Yes, I would agree with you in there. Tips needs to stop being a boomerang with his personnel. He's been doing that recently. Granted, they're hurt, and you would like to see him do it when they're all healthy, but at the same time, like he's been making the necessary adjustments that he's needed to make. He started Cam Reddish tonight, and I told you he would start Cam Reddish tonight. So
He proved me wrong. I thought he was gonna go with the classic Fournier had like 35 points per game versus the Celtics
yeah,
excuse, but no, he didn't. Surprise, surprise.
but yeah, like and he only played 48 10 minutes tonight. So like
10 minutes too many.
true, but at the same time, like they had no other bodies, so like can't do much about that. But like Tips is starting to pull the levers necessary, but this personnel is just really, really mediocre right now. Like they don't have a lot of like wing defenders. They don't have a lot of size, and like our best POA defender was hurt. So yeah, the defense was rough, but at the same time, the personnel doesn't give it any benefits. So what can you do about it, really?
Um, yeah, I mean, they rested Grimes tonight, which I'm glad they're doing. For precautionary reasons, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't. I mean, yeah. Now Gobert is out, so I wonder how the Timberwolves are going to go back to. Are they going to go back to playing how they were last year? Are
They're
certain
gonna
guys
play
going to
better.
be? Yeah, it's like
Gobert.
are they going to be better than they were to start the season? Which is going to be interesting because Anthony Edwards has been complaining about the spacing. And their net rating with that starting unit was like a minus 10.7 to start the year. So,
I just want to win that game so I can get my jokes off about the Timberwolves. I really just want to win that game for that sole purpose.
well,
Because I got some shit to say about the Timberwolves, man. I'm just waiting.
that's how I feel about OKC. But you know,
Problem is OKC got a little bit of fight in them, so I can't even complain.
man, fuck them.
Bro,
Taz,
when will you learn?
bruh, they blitzed me like for no reason. But anyways, Taz says feels like Hartenstein is good enough to lose 132-118 type of games if he plays extended minutes versus starters. Um,
He's not a starter.
yeah,
He's
he's not a
not a
starter,
starter.
thankfully, but he's gonna be probably the starter for the foreseeable future until Mitch is
Next,
back.
yeah, I'm gonna say like
Um,
the next 2 weeks or so.
yeah, which is not encouraging because I mean the boards, my God, the boards. Um, he was all right tonight on the boards, but there were some key boards where like it's like, bro, it's Blake Griffin, bro, it's Noah Vonleh. You should get this rebound. You are like 3 inches taller than both of those dudes. Like, come on now. But yeah, he's definitely someone I'm not encouraged fully. It's matchup based for him. It's matchup based for him.
Yeah, yeah, but it kind of
I'll
also
leave it
feels
at
like
that.
you don't have a choice because Sims is playing with his head in his ass right now. Granted, lack of burn, a lack of minutes, but also like
Yeah, he doesn't have
uh,
rhythm. He doesn't have
and I'm not gonna throw Sims from
continuity.
DM. You can't throw Sims from DMPs to you're starting and playing 30 minutes a night. So
Yeah,
I didn't see to how important Mitch is for this team's defense and rebounding. Because without him, they're just kind of lost.
very much so. Um, ZMP323 says not much you can do when the Celtics are having a 99th percentile 3-point performance.
That too.
Um, every team is gonna do this to us, man. Every team is gonna have a 99th percentile 3-point performance if we keep defending the way we do. I mean, we've seen it for like how many games out of these last like 4 or 5 games?
I
It's a
mean, I
continuous
can go
trend.
back. The Sixers shot 28%. Let's go back to
Well,
Wednesday.
the Sixers were also playing like
For all the faults of the Hawks game, they shot 35% from three.
How many threes did they hit
Um,
though? Because I'm looking at volume and attempts and
they,
makes
they
too.
hit they hit 12 out of 34,
Okay, not too
which isn't
shabby.
bad. Yeah, like that's not bad. And then what, we had that was the Tuesday game, right? No, that was the Wednesday game, and then we didn't play on Monday. And then Sunday was the game from Cavaliers from Hell. But
How
yeah,
many threes
like
did they hit as a team? The Cavs.
I can't even check. I don't want to check. I
You
can't even
should
start
check
that.
because
I'm gonna.
if 3 of them hit 22, then like how many did the whole team hit?
They hit. Okay, that game. No, that's the Milwaukee game. Give me a second. That game was ugly.
It
Jesus.
was ugly.
They
Wave
hit
had
23 threes.
23.
23 out of 50.
My God.
God damn. And the funny thing was, it was literally just three people. It was Kevin Love, it was Donovan Mitchell, and it was Dean Wade. Everybody else hit 1-3 combined, and it was Shetty Osman, and he went 1 for 7. They literally just killed us on threes from three people.
And imagine if they had Darius Garland that game.
I don't want to think about that. That's a
Well,
game
we'll have to think about it for
you
the
can't
next
put
time
that.
we play them.
Man, Darius Garland came back and he was out here he put up what? Like he put up numbers, bro. Like,
Put up a
it's dumb
29
how good
piece.
Darius Garland is.
Chris
You see
Bernhardt.
him?
He said, "Yo, James Jones, let's grow up and get this Randall deal on the road." Yeah, I mean, yo, they missing Cam Johnson now. He looked like he tore his meniscus. That's a Randall buyer right there. I'm watching their game right now. I'm seeing how the offense is looking. I'm scouting. Seeing what players we could get back in a potential deal. And how he can help them over there. Raise that trade
Dude,
value
they
to
ain't
10
got
extra
nobody.
moments.
They ain't got nobody we want. There's
They don't.
nobody in the team I want.
They
Unless
don't.
it's
That's the point. Free
that
up
you would
playing
actually
time.
that you. Nah. Anyway,
What you
like
call it? Vivek says suicides for every 3-point make they given up.
dog, I know I look skinny,
27.
but I'm not running like that. Relax.
Oh, I don't think he means for us. I think he means for the team. They should do that.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's
You're
like
right.
that's like some high school basketball team shit. But I approve of that for the Knicks. They should do that for every franchise record performance that they give up. They should just like have them all run, all of them, just run.
Mitchell one knee is limping.
Oh man, I'm not gonna address that comment. I don't want to talk about the World Series. No, thank you.
My Astros,
Your Astros.
boy.
Oh
We
my.
about to be out here. It's up in Texas. What you mean?
All right. Anyways, JL, when Noah Vonleh made that 3, I damn near turned the TV off, man.
That was bro. When Blake Griffin hit that three in the third quarter, I was like, no way. I was like, no way Blake Griffin is hitting
Shout
this
out
thing,
once a
bro.
Nick, always a Nick, Noah Vonleh.
I'm
Went to
happy for him.
China
I'm glad he's back in the league.
and back in the league now. I mean, he was in the league. He was on the Bulls and he got COVID and then they kicked him off the team and then he went to China.
Yeah, but he was out here destroying us on the boards that were just ugly.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of those boards were against Hartenstein.
Yeah.
Gave up a lot of boards. That's why I was like, it was an okay game for him in terms of like the number of rebounds he got. 10 rebounds, but yeah.
14. He
Vonleh?
got 14. No, Hartenstein got 14.
Oh, he had 14?
Vonleh had 3 offensive though. He had 7 total in 16 minutes, which is really good.
Yeah.
Happy for Vonleh, man. He deserves it. But yeah, like, not good. Not good.
Taz says, is Thibs sabotaging the Randall Obi lineup by having Rose and Fournier and IQ defending the perimeter? Sort of.
We're not gonna talk about IQ being a bad.
Yeah, let's leave IQ out of this one.
Grow up.
Let's leave IQ out of this one. But yeah, every time he plays the Randall Obi lineup, he starts off with having like Fournier out there with them. It's like, dude, you're obviously gonna like the numbers are obviously gonna look bad now because you're putting freaking Evan Fournier out there in this situation where you need more switch heavy guys like Cam, RJ, IQ, like guys like that. You got to put those guys out there with a Randall Obi lineup. You can't have poor perimeter defenders out there with them. Like obviously, and like the beat writers were like, oh, they gave up 7 consecutive points with the Randall Obi line. It's like, bro, they had Evan Fournier out there with them. Of course, they gave up 7 straight points. Like who
You
wouldn't?
can't. You cannot look at lineups as a two-man pairing because there's three other guys in the court with them. Which is why I don't like the idea of like, oh, this two-man pairing is so good together, they should play more. And it's like that's not how lineups work because you have to play against the three other dudes, and then you can play against another team, whether it be their starters or bench or a staggered lineup. Like there's just so many variables into playing against other people that like the idea of numbers being, oh, this is a really bad lineup or this is a really good lineup between these specific two players is just really, really poor. So
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, you gotta add context when you're talking about 2-man lineups. So like this 2-man lineup is great when paired with such and such. Like Randall and Obi are a great lineup when paired with Cam, RJ, IQ, Jalen Brunson. Those guys. That's when the lineup works. And we saw it in Philly. But Thibs just wants to be Thibs and decided to give Fournier donation minutes tonight. Whatever.
think that you can't take 40 out the rotation because you're missing so many pieces. So like
True.
he gave him 10 tonight. Like I can't get mad at him for giving him 10
But
minutes
those 10, they
when
hurt, man.
they hurt. But like who else are you gonna play in those minutes? You kind of need a warm body at that point.
Throw Deuce out there, man. Give Deuce some run. Shout out Westchester.
No, no, we're not shouting out
No,
Westchester.
no shout out to Westchester. Where Deuce,
The Westchester Knicks are nice. The Westchester as the city.
Yeah,
No,
that's what
we're
I
not trying.
meant. Like shout out Westchester
Okay.
Knicks. Like
I
shout
was
out
about to
for
say
them
that.
for helping Deuce.
All right, cool, but
You
we
think
ain't
I
shouting
give a,
out
you think I give
Westchester.
a flying rat's ass about Westchester, New York,
All
man?
right, I just have to know you wasn't tripping. I know New Jersey and
God.
everything, but we don't be doing
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Relax.
Why the hell would I shout out Westchester, the fucking place
Well,
in the New York?
I don't know what goes on your mind as a hater.
Oh my gosh. What you call it? JL says Rose is dead as a spot up shooter. He's cooked. I respect he improved his 3-point, but it might be over. Tonight was one of those nights where he wasn't really that cooked.
Like the thing is, like he shot 2 or 3 from 3. It was
Yeah,
his
he was.
2-point shots that were cooked.
Yeah, the layups and stuff. Like he missed a bunny that he would have made last year, or even the year
Like
before.
small sample size, he's shooting 48% from 3. That's not the problem.
Yeah, the 3 isn't his problem. It's like the getting to the rim. He has a lot of like, what's up with his handle? Like, did the freaking
I think
spaceship monsters take his handle? Like,
it's really feels like a rust, dude. It feels like he's just super rusty.
Maybe just be
When you
old.
haven't played when you haven't played for a year, like I don't blame him for being rusty. Also, that was wild. So like Jalen Brunson took between the third and the fourth, second and third quarter, he took I think 10 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and he made 9 of them in a row and missed one. It was wild. That second and third quarter from Brunson was literally like a straight up takeover, a 2K takeover. It was nuts.
Respect. Yeah, he
God,
did his
man.
thing. He did his thing. And when he takes over like that, it's like it doesn't feel like he's. It doesn't feel like, oh, I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't feel like he's like dominating the ball like to a point where it feels like no one else is like. Um, it doesn't feel detrimental to
Yeah,
say it.
I think the way is like he takes over the game, but he still gets other people involved. It's not like in the Trey way where like Trey is taking over the game because he has like 35 usage. It's like his usage. I think Brunson's usage right now is like 21. It's something that's incredibly low, but he's also like he's just taking the shot, and then if he doesn't take the shot, he's passing it out to somebody, and it just kind of feels like he's playing within the fold of the offense, but he is the offense. It's a very weird thing. It's like when it's great, it's really great, but then when he's being passive, it's very like I wish he would do more. But so far, so good. Can't really complain about it because like he's putting up 20 and 7, and again, all-star numbers, man. Like once that three ball comes back, like once that three ball is back, man, how do you deny him?
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I don't know, man. I really don't
And
know.
and all it needs to do is just come back to like 36%, and at that point he's shooting like 52% from the field, and then like, man, I'm just so Not to mention like a 5-to-1 turnover. It's just turnover ratio. Like, dude is crazy. He's balling. He's balling.
He is. Um, Taz mentions that he said IQ. He was just listening to the entire lineup. I guess that was on the court at that time. That was a really bad lineup if that was the case. IQ,
Yeah,
Rose,
yeah. It
Fournier,
was.
Randall, Obi. Ew.
The thing is like they had no other option, which is the problem, unless you want to run Deuce a small forward.
I think this could hold his own on small forward.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that lineup maybe. Yeah, I probably you could put him up with Sam Hauser, and you'd be fine.
Or even like put him on. I think he has the strength to deal with Brogdon for a couple drives. Not
Yeah, I
like
think
putting him on like the whole night, but like for a couple drives, I think you could put Deuce on
yeah, I would like to see him Deuce, but I'm not gonna get too upset about them not playing Deuce
of
ultimately.
course not. Of course not, because we know Deuce ain't playing until like we out of like the play-in or whatever situation maybe at the end of the year.
Deuce doesn't
Uh
play until Derrick Rose gets injured.
Not until Derrick Rose gets injured and like Quentin Grimes is out and Cam Reddish is somehow out or IQ is out. Like a lot of guys got to be out for Deuce to play. But yeah. Elton Lee says this was clearly a defensive loss. No doubt about that. I mean, it's gonna continue being defensive losses. Giving up the threes that we gave up tonight. Like, I know a lot of people like to say these performances are flukes, but if they're already a consistent thing, like it's not a fluke. It's just a symptom of the defensive scheme that we are playing. And until that changes, then that's when
Yeah,
things will improve.
agreed.
And we'll see how things look when Grimes is back. Maybe you can mitigate some of that. Maybe Grimes would have been the one on. Nah, I think Jalen Brunson still would have been on Brogdon for certain situations, maybe. But I was thinking if Grimes was playing, maybe he would have been on Brogdon.
I could have seen it. Also, we need to talk about the base of the night. The dude hitting the half court shot.
Shout out to the
That
dude
was
that hit the
wild.
half court shot. Did they give him a scratch off ticket? I know it was like a
No,
big ass
they
deal.
gave him a car. They gave
Give him
him
a
a car.
car? Oh shit! MSG stepped it up since that
Yeah,
last time. I remember like
yeah.
people were really like legit killing us for giving up those
That was
scratch
the
offs.
ESPN story, dude. It was literally on ESPN, and they were like, "Is James Dolan the worst owner in the NBA because he gave scratch off tickets for a half court shot?" And I'm like, dude, it's not that big of a story.
That
It
that
was
was like
literally
that was during the dark days. That was during the dark days too. So like
it was
they need to shit on us for everything.
boy, they literally was making up shit just to talk about the Knicks, dude. Can the Knicks trade for Anthony Davis? Like, what are we doing?
Like, did we really sign Lamar Odom? Like, was that a thing that happened? Like, I legit don't remember that.
I think it
Like,
was to the coaching staff.
but like, did it ever really like actually happen? Because like
No, because
I don't
I
remember
think
Lamar. I
I
don't
think
remember
like
Lamar ever
afterwards he got
being.
like he was on the and then like
Oh,
they couldn't go through with it, but I'm sure at one point he was like signed to the
or he
organization.
was about to, or like he was interviewing, right?
Yeah,
But like the way like
who was on
Stephen
that?
A. The way Stephen A. Smith makes the rant, it made it seem like he was like a full-time staff member, like he was there for like a year or so. Like they really drag everything over there at that network, man. Um, fucking hate that network. Uh, Ultimately also says RJ has to return to the two full time. I don't think it matters necessarily. I just
RJ's
think
on
it
the two.
Yeah, I just also
RJ's
think
on
it
the
doesn't
two.
matter because like there's always cross matchups and like teams. Oh, sometimes you switch things. Like everything, it's all matchup based in the NBA. Like it doesn't really
It's
matter who's
matchup based.
the
Like you don't want RJ
2 and 3.
guarding guards on a full time basis because he's not fast enough to keep up with them.
It also depends on like who the two guard is that night. Like if you're playing like a team that
Yeah.
has a two
If
that
it's
really
like
does all
If
that,
it's like Clay Thompson, then yeah, you can guard Clay Thompson. But if it's like
a smaller
Anthony Simons,
yeah
like I don't
smaller
want
guard that's like
RJ
quicker
Barrett
and stuff.
guarding Anthony Simons. Like that, he would literally just get destroyed again. Like he would die on screens, and then he's playing like ring around the rosy off shooters. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see him do that. Like I want to see him play bigger wings because that means that he gets to use his strength and he gets to like play closer to the basket as a help defender, which is where he shines. Like he's not a POA defender. He's not a full time point of attack defender. He's more of a help defender who can like use his positional advantages and strength in order to disrupt defenses, which is what he needs to do.
Yep. Um. Also, I've seen this stat on Twitter. RJ is averaging 20 points per game on 47% from the field since the first game of the season. Oh, you kind of
That was before the game.
you mentioned that. No, I think that's after today too.
I can check
Might
that.
be it might be a little bit
Uh,
maybe a little bit higher. But
yeah,
yeah.
I think it's probably been around like 21, 22 maybe. I'll check. But yeah, like he's been open. He's been open. Can't complain. Like cannot complain about what he's been doing so far.
Um. So next couple, let's get into the next couple matchups. Um. We got the Timberwolves coming up. That game is on. If my phone could load up. I hate when this stuff does this. So that is on Monday. We have the Timberwolves. We go into Minnesota. They are without Rudy Gobert, so they will be at an advantage. So that's going to be interesting. Who's going to be their starting five in terms of they start D'Lo, Ant, McDaniels, and Cat. Who slots in at that fifth starter spot?
Uh,
Probably.
they played tonight, and I think who started was I can check right here. Yeah, they played tonight, and Kyle Anderson started.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense. That makes sense.
yeah, so they'll probably just go with Kyle Anderson again tonight. For Monday.
I like our chances in this matchup a little bit. I guess matchup wise, Jalen Brunson guarding D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell doesn't really scare me. Like ah,
I don't.
um,
I think that team's defense is cooked.
yeah, defensively they're bad. So I think that's where we can exploit things. Um, Kyle Anderson is. I mean, Kyle Anderson and Jalen McDaniels are pretty good to solid defenders. But other than that, the rest of the team defensively is like,
Basura, basura.
yeah, it's very bad. It's very bad. So there's a lot that we can. It's a game that we should be competitive in, and we should probably win. But yeah,
Yeah, but then again, like there's a potential for like Ant to just go crazy. So I hope that isn't the case. But yeah, like I think they should win this game. Not to mention like the Timberwolves have just been in flux because like Ant is basically saying this trade sucks. I can't get into the paint. Their starting lineup, their starting five is like the Knicks starting lineup last year, where like they're just horrendously fit together. There's no spacing. Cat can guard fours.
what were they
So
thinking? Oh my god.
I don't know. Like the trade made no sense to me because I was like, why would you trade for a center and make Cat a perimeter player when his whole strength is like he can't stand the perimeter and he's better playing at a drop like he didn't play a drop scheme well. You thought he could play on the perimeter well? He can't switch, he can't keep up with fours. So I feel like if Rudy Gobert was playing, I would have been like, okay, that's a good chance to like use Obi and just run them off the court. But you can't do that. So Cat's playing more of a drop. And that might be dangerous to Hartenstein because Hartenstein has to come off the perimeter now, which is a little bit risky. But I think at the same time, like they should win that game because D'Angelo Russell is an abomination to basketball, and Jalen Brunson should be able to exploit him fairly
Oh
easily.
yeah, JB should cook.
Yeah, I think JV gets like 30 and 10. I expect him to
Okay,
put up some numbers.
he should. I hope he does. Alton Lee says when RJ was our two guard, we were in the playoffs. It opened up our roster and extended our perimeter defense. Again, I don't really think it matters who's the two because like him and Reggie, they kind of like interchange between the wings, so I don't think it really mattered that much. During that
And even
year,
like you saw Reggie guarding more of the high end perimeter players and RJ Barrett guarding more of the
lower
like
end.
Yeah,
So it's all semantics. It
yeah.
doesn't matter who's the 2 and the 3. Like it's not traditional basketball anymore. Like they end up cross matching against different players all the time anyways. So um yeah. After the Minnesota game though, we do have Brooklyn who is in flux. Um
We gonna
and
get to them. We gonna get to them. Oh, we gonna get to them. We haven't talked about it, but we gonna get to them.
and then we got Detroit on November 11th. We are supposed to allegedly reveal, I think, a new court that day. So that will be interesting. Probably wearing the new
I
city
saw.
jerseys.
Yeah, I saw
So
the new leaks. The court looks good.
the court does look good. I'm waiting to see how the city jerseys look. It is the last installment of the Kith Black jerseys. So yes, we'll see how
Uh,
they finish it off.
if it looks anything like the '98 jerseys, I'm going to get on this podcast and rant. I hate the
Why do you
'98.
hate the 98 jersey so much?
Okay, I have to explain this in detail now. First of all, they look baggy as hell. If they like the '98 jersey on the current way the NBA styles their jerseys would look horrible. Because the '98 jerseys were baggy, very baggy, and the traditional 2022 jerseys are very slim fitting. It's going to look bad. Second of all,
You saying you
the
hate the
big,
slim fit?
huh?
You saying you hate the slim fit?
No, I hate the baggy. The
So
baggy is
what's
bad.
the issue? No one's bringing
So
back
why
the
would you
baggy.
when you're putting baggy on a slim fit, it's going to look worse. Now we get to the whole point of like the side panels were dumb and lame and stupid. They look
No, the
corny.
side panels are the best part, actually.
They look corny. And then like the black jerseys had like the dark black side panels for whatever reason. Like it looked bad. It looks bad. And then the arches in New York, I hate that. I love the way the New York is straight in these jerseys. It's great. Like black is not in the Knicks logo. Why is it on the jersey? Makes no sense.
What? You can never go wrong with black.
Yes, you can. You can
No, you
absolutely go wrong with
cannot.
black.
Black goes with everything.
It's
You
not
hate
in the
black?
jersey.
You hate black?
I know you're not talking about me.
You hate black?
No, I hate black in jerseys where it doesn't belong. And like it's part of the product of the '90s where like they were throwing black on everything.
It's
Bro,
fire.
no, it's okay. Black jerseys are fire. Black accents where there's not black in the color scheme are lame.
The alternate logo for New York, the NYK used to be in black. There's your black
Yeah, but
accents. Boom.
the alternate logo in 2022 is the Knicks. It's the Knicks ball, but it has it all in blue. Like they don't even acknowledge black as part of the color scheme because they got the black out of it when they redid the logo in like 2012.
Who cares? Black looks cool.
It looks cool when there's okay. Black jerseys are cool.
There
Every
are so many teams in the league that don't have black accents and they have black on their jerseys. They have whole black jerseys.
exactly black jerseys are cool. Black accents when there's no black in your color scheme look lame.
Not hearing it anymore. Shout out to Ace Bouchard. 90s Knicks jerseys are fire.
They're not
Facts.
good.
I got me a Latrell Sprewell one just sitting
They're
over here in my
they're
room.
not good, and
It's a little slim fitting, but it
and like
still looks good.
and the early 2010 jerseys even worse.
I don't care about those. I don't
Like
care about
they're
those.
not good, bro. I'm so glad they got rid of them. I was so happy when I was like, oh, new
The
jerseys.
98 jerseys are fire though.
The,
Respect Knicks history where the Knicks that last time the Knicks went to the finals. Respect the jerseys of the last time the Knicks went to the finals.
I wasn't born. I don't care.
You weren't born in 99?
What they didn't play in like June?
Damn.
Man, I wasn't born.
I was.
Why would I care?
I
Whatever.
was.
We get it. We can get it anyway. The
Yeah.
jerseys suck. I'm glad they're not coming back anytime soon.
When they come
Very
back,
happy.
you'll
When they
you'll
come
learn to
back,
love them.
I'll watch the game on mute, and I will no fuck that. I'll listen to the
mute?
game on radio. I'll
On
listen to the game on
radio.
radio because I would not stand to watch those jerseys. Put on Ed
Oh
Cohen.
my gosh. Oh my gosh, those jerseys were special. But anyways, we're supposed to reveal those on Detroit versus Detroit on November 11th. We should win all three given the circumstances. But Ugh, you got supporters in the chat. Gross.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My
James,
people.
get out of here, James.
My people.
Get
Y'all
out of here,
understand it.
James.
Y'all understand how
Those
ass
jerseys are
those
part of
jerseys.
history. They're part of
His
history.
bad history.
What do you mean bad history? That's last time we went to the finals. Talking about bad history.
Whatever, bro. It's over with. It's over with. Get
Respect
him out
those
of here.
jerseys. But
Get him.
we should win those 3 games given the circumstances. Um if we don't, maybe grounds for firing. Um look at the chat. But after that we have OKC and Utah. Again, some more troubling games that could not go our way, but we'll
We
stay
got
focused on
traffic.
the next 3 versus Minnesota, Brooklyn, and Detroit. I don't know why they have us going from Minnesota to Brooklyn, but that's neither here nor there. Um, I think we win the Detroit game. I think we win the Minnesota game. Brooklyn seems to always have our number no matter what, and they always have some type of BS luck on their side no matter what game we play against them.
Ben Simmons.
Um,
We never beat Ben Simmons before. So
that also, um, like no matter what happens, no matter what's the circumstances of a Nets game, we always lose. It is like at the end of a game, we can hit a clutch shot and they will come down the other way, and James Johnson will get blessed with 2 free throws to ice the game for them. Like,
or Cam Thomas will go for 30
and we'll lose
randomly
a 28-point lead.
late.
Like literally every single game, no matter what happens, something will go wrong in our way, and we lose the game.
Or
So
or when Fournier, Randall, and RJ all have 25 apiece and we still lose because Kevin Durant draws 53.
yeah, it's just like stuff like that. It's like so
And
I'm already immediately, and like with all their bad luck going on over there, with all the BS that they have going on, with all the situations with Kyrie and the owner and Kevin Durant and everything that's going on, some way, somehow, some BS is gonna go their way in that game and they're gonna beat us. So I already penciled that L in. That game against Brooklyn is a loss. I am just focusing on Minnesota and Detroit. I think we should easily beat Detroit. I think Minnesota, we have a advantage where defensively they are not that good, so we can take advantage of that. But yeah, I think we should go 2-1 in the next 3 games. How do you feel about the next 3?
I think they can go 2-1, and that's good. Like they're an average team. They should do the average thing. Like I think I don't know if you saw like the Kirk Schoolberry chart, but like if you look at this some of the season, they're like 15th in defense and 15th in offense. This team is the definition of average right now, which I would
Mid.
take. Like they're mid, like and mid is good compared to being the Detroit Pistons. Like we were bad. I'll take mid over being bad. That's okay.
James ask, fellas, how do we get Julius off this team?
We don't. Not yet, at least.
That's a great question. Phoenix seems to have an opening at power forward, so I don't know. Inquire there, I would say. I think we'll end things here though. We will be back on Monday following the Timberwolves game. Hopefully they have won that game. If not, you can expect another negative stream based on whether it's the coach's rotations or certain players shit themselves, but we will be here. We will be here to break all that down. Make sure y'all subscribe, leave a like. We are trying to get to 1K subs. So leaving a like and subscribing helps us out a ton. Um leave there is links to everything Stricken related in the description. Links to the site, merch, Patreon, and I'm forgetting one, Twitter. All great ways to support us. So make sure you're doing that. We will be back on Monday. Peace out.